Oh, I was muted this whole time. I did an amazing introduction full of energy and I was muted. No, hopefully Pocket's actually restarting his computer because he thinks his speakers don't work. I hope I wasn't just muted. That would be embarrassing. But welcome to Sunday edition of the James Pelton AMA show. We're going to be talking with Justun PocketAces about Voltech today. I don't usually do Sunday AMAs. Sunday's usually my day off, but I got trips left and right, like vacations, not trips. Yeah, but vacations left and right. And more days than videos. Wait, more videos than days to put them on. So we're doing one on Sunday today. So let me bring him on here. Justun, how's it going, brother?
Very well after some minor quick technical difficulties.
Okay, I feel bad because I do realize I was muted. So I hope it was not.
No, I checked. The speaker was not working. I checked a video. So no, it was on my end.
Okay, very good. I felt kind of bad. I was talking and then I realized, oh, I have mute on. So awesome. Well, yeah. Justun, thanks for hopping on today. Audience, appreciate you guys. Good to see you here on a Sunday. Please hit like for Justun, part of our community manager. We might call him. Appreciate you, Justun, but hit like for him. If you have questions as we're going, of course, bring those up. Always appreciative of your questions because then I don't have to think of my own. No, just kidding. But it does. You guys usually have very great questions. So let me know what you have as we're going. Justun, you've been on my channel a lot of times before, but let's go ahead. If people are watching, whether it be live or replay, never heard of you, they don't know PocketAces is, anything about you. Give us a little bit of your background before we jump into Voltech.
Sure. I guess a YouTuber, I guess, started about June, July. Prior to that, did some stuff in DeFi, the usual song and dance, diversified so well into, in my case, node projects, but we all have our one thing that we diversified not very well in. So that's my claim to fame, if you will. Learned from that, realized I had a financial background and just trying to get that back up to speed and use those skill sets and those things that I know to kind of do something with the space. And so using that at first as a YouTube channel, as a moderator on different places, just trying to help people and educate people and do that kind of thing. And then turned into now looking into some people coming to me with different things and different ideas and through learning through you and whatever, I've decided we launched kind of a small project that did well, but had some issues, but we're climbing back out from there and doing really well at that actually. And then Ludo came to me with kind of an opportunity. We started kind of hashing it out. And so here I am.
Okay, very good. So go ahead and tell us about that. How did this come to be? What is it? Give us the elevator pitch. Just you're a YouTuber, so I'm just going to kind of open up the floodgates and go ahead and tell us about this.
So I basically Ludo came to me with some ideas. We started kind of having a chat. First thing he said was, "There's a token." I said, "No way." But then we started kind of digging a little bit deeper, having a little conversation on how the mechanics were going to work. And we both kind of had one of those kind of giddy moments, right, where you're like, this is cool. I don't know if anybody's already thought of it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Timing might have been bad. Ours, I think, is actually good right now because there is some projects that we can lean on now, I think, more so than we've ever had in a while. So we had a good little aha moment and decided to kind of run with it. So the long and the short of it is there is a token, but it is not traded in a pancake swap or over the counter kind of thing. It's all done over the counter. So you can only access the token if there's a buyer. There's no liquidity pool to drain. There's no kind of security wise. There's no issues with bots coming in and sniping anything. Like there's literally none of that. The goods and the bads, it kind of creates almost like an NFT token hybrid, because in order to get out, you have to find a buyer, but you also have more tokens in your pocket as opposed to an NFT where it's one unit. So you have that ability to kind of diversify or take profits whenever you want. So the other neat thing, so I guess right there, we'll just start there. So OTC, like I said, buying and selling is all done through there. Right now, our pre-sale, all you're basically doing is throwing money into it, and then you'll get an amount of tokens that will come out of it once we launch. And then when you stake it, basically you're going to be getting a part of the reward pool. And honestly, you probably just go straight down. I hate white papers. Go straight down to the allocation. We'll get to the meat and potatoes for everybody.
It's a pretty white paper.
It is pretty.
Yeah. It's not white. So just want to point that out. But yes.
So yeah, so if you keep going down, and we'll just get to the allocation, because that's the meat and potatoes right there. So sorry, down more. One more, apologies. So right there. So this is kind of what the magic sauce, if you will, or whatever is. Basically, as we get rewards, 50% of them are going to be compounded back in, possibly in the same protocol, maybe into a different one, whatever the case may be. And then 35% of it will be claimable. We're still looking at whether we're going to do this daily or weekly. It kind of depends on how much we can draw from the different protocols, what makes sense. I want to do it daily just because there are protocols that allow us to do that. And I want to be able to show rewards on a consistent basis. But weekly might end up being the more what makes sense. And as we get into more detail, we'll talk about the investments and why some of those will not be daily or weekly or whatever, because you know a few of them. And then 10% goes to the team for the work and for the handling and managing it. Also back into marketing and any other things we might need to use it for. And then 5% is for buybacks. So that's for us buying the floor, almost like an NFT project. Like you say, we'll buy the floor. So that's a long-winded, short-winded kind of overall thing.
Okay, very good. No, I like it. So what are you going to be investing in with so this is basically OTC, you're getting in, giving people tokens, then you're going to end up with a pool, a treasury. Then what are you going to be investing in with that treasury?
Yeah. So like I do with I've got a challenge or a 1K wallet thing that I do. And basically I talk about it as my legs of the table, as being my pillars of whatever I'm investing in. So in this case, we're looking to create a nice foundation and nice table legs for our investments, starting with obviously one that you will all know very well is Warify, because they are a leader in the space. There's somebody who's tried, tested, and proven and showing results. But we also want to create potentially some better rewards. So we'll spread that out into things like our creative wealth bot that we've created. Tech created a fantastic bot that's performing really, really well. And so we'll use that as a Forex trading side. And then we also have a crypto trader who has been helping us kind of with things with creative wealth, who has also been performing really, really well and performs. And I've seen data on his larger portfolios of like 100K and stuff. And he performs even better than he is with our little pot that we're playing with. Welcome, Jason. So we've got some really neat ideas and some really neat things to hopefully kind of supercharge the investments a little bit, no pun intended, but to also still keep us grounded and keep us with stuff that's going to perform well. On top of that, we'll plan to take our profits and use those towards ibots, another one to kind of complete the ecosystem a little bit for us. And then a little last kind of bonus thing that I thought of afterwards is we're going to use the funds to like small portions of the funds, because I've always had trouble with the referral codes and using them and trying to give them back to the community in some way and do all that kind of stuff. So with Voltech, we're actually going to invest small amounts, let everybody get into their DGen plays they want to get into. The referral codes will be fed into Voltech, which will then feed the investors of Voltech. So it's a neat way of being able to kind of give back to the community and the supporters and allow them to still do their DGen moves, but still feed back to their own pockets. If things don't go well, those referral dollars can help them out, kind of thing. So just a neat little overall thing. So.
Okay, very good. And Funny Turo says Pocket's catching up to you with the number of projects he started. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about just you told us a little, but do you want to just get into it? How did this start? Who did you start it with? What's your vision for the space? Are you going to be making a whole bunch of projects? Talk to us a little bit about that.
My hope is to stick with just a few, but as you know, and one of your secret projects, it's not so secret anymore, is Creative Wealth. So we had a really great idea. It didn't work out perfectly, but we're digging ourselves out from there. It was with live traders, and unfortunately stuff happens. So it's helped us really learn a lot. And then Ludo kind of came to me with this token idea. And once we kind of realized what it would be like and what it could do, that's what kind of started this up. And Tech was nice enough with my partnership with him that we can use the bot, and just it gives us an opportunity to bring more people into the fold and create hopefully a really nice nest egg for everybody. And the really neat thing is with that 50% compounding, the opportunity for the rewards could grow quite drastically over time, and without people hopefully betting it on red afterwards after getting it and losing it all. So nothing's perfect. We're going to stumble a little bit, but that's the really nice thing with the token too. If we stumble a little bit, the token value might go down, hopefully not below the $1 range, but then we can build it back up again with those compounds and build those legs back up again. And that's why you have so many of them, or 4 or 5 of them, so that if one breaks, it's easy to build again because you've got a sturdy rest of your legs holding up.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and someone might ask, maybe I'll get I have my own take, but again, this is your time, so let's hear yours. But with all these, so we have ibots and creative wealth and war bots and my forex bots and now these. How should someone think about with limited capital and they're trying to design their portfolio? How should someone kind of think through that, or how do you think through that, or what advice would you give to someone?
Yeah, this has been kind of my issue, and what kind of made this make sense is I've had a struggling time getting back to what I lost in node season. A lot of it was spreading out in too many different pots, shiny thing syndrome, all that kind of stuff. So it was hard to focus. And so the neat thing here, I'm hoping, is with those smaller investors, they will have a place to come where they can get that exposure as if they're putting $10,000 in, but only with 100, 200, 500. So it definitely, I feel, gives an opportunity, but I agree. The problem is we are too spread out. It's taken me a long time to get 5 or 10 grand into any one project, which is scary. To be honest, but it's the only thing that really starts seeing that passive income start really making a difference. Whereas $100 here, $100 there, half the time you don't even know what you're making.
Right.
So this is one place where people could come with a smaller bag and create some hopefully ongoing cash flow for them. And then they can take those winnings over time and pull them to those more specific projects they want if they choose to.
Okay, very good. And we got questions flooding in. So yeah, audience, keep those coming.
Please do.
Quarter Mile says, are payouts streamlined, or is someone paying folks manually?
So there will be kind of a manual process to dump it into the contract, just like, well, for your Forex NFTs and any of that kind of stuff. So there is that kind of manual process where we pull from the protocols. But basically the contract will take care of the rest. So it will split it up based on the funds that are available, or the everybody's weighted amount. So it's all automatic from there. So really it's whether we just dump it in weekly or dump it in daily. It'll depend on kind of the flow of funds. So
Yep, absolutely. And you know this, and I found this in my projects. There's not really a great way to automate on the blockchain money coming in and then it being spread out to 20 different places. I mean, that's not something you can programmatically do yet.
No.
So some of it has to be manual, but eventually you get it kind of streamlined, and then hopefully some more options will come up to just make it more streamlined as time goes on.
Or we create them with some of the funds we make. You never know.
There you go. You never know what's going to happen. Every vlog says, is there an expected ROI? So, Warbots has been doing about 7. My Forex bots have been doing about 3. What are you guys kind of aiming for with?
Yeah. And as you can probably imagine, it's quite a broad range right now because we really don't know how it's going to balance all out. And that, again, will change over time based on the compounding effect and based on how we allocate things. Because if one's performing really well and we become comfortable with it and we know the backstory and we know for sure then we might allocate more that way than another way. But we're aiming between 5 and 15, I guess. The white paper, I think, says 5 to 15 or somewhere along those lines. That's what we'd like to get. I feel like 5 is fairly very achievable with the way we're diversifying it, because we've got things that are a little bit riskier than ibots and Warfi, but not crazy riskier, just to kind of average us out a little bit better is our hope. And we're only doing a $250,000 raise. We're not looking to have millions of dollars in here. Over time, we might grow to that. Or even if we keep our small little group of investors, maybe we'll grow them to $1 million and their tokens will all be worth $4. There's lots of different things that can happen here. And we just want to do it responsibly and make sure we're protecting everybody's, as even Jason said himself, we want to protect people's initial. That's more important. And then hopefully we create some good wealth for everybody ongoing.
Okay. Yeah. And I would just echo exactly what you said. If you're trying to figure out what projects to get into, you can always do that risk reward ratio. So like my Forex bots are going to be lowest return, but probably safest. Maybe Warfi is going to be a little bit higher, but a little bit riskier. This is probably going to be a little bit higher, a little bit riskier. So it's just kind of, massaging that, trying to figure out, hey, what am I comfortable with? What's the risk portfolio? Maybe I'll do like a graphic of all the solid projects, and it's like, hey, where do you want to be on this chart?
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing too. Like I say, we can take more risk because we're diversifying it for the people. So it just gives a catch-all. And yet somebody just said it, like a form of ETF, I guess, token is not a bad way to think about it. And that's going to be the nice thing that we'll do here is try and create something that's sustainable. And it's all real revenues. There's no point like it is, and none of the projects we're getting into, other than some of the degens ones, we'll do with very small portions of the portfolio to get the referral income out of it. That's really all we're doing. That's going to be risk money. Again, all of it's risky in this space. We can't deny that, of course. But
so would you say it's accurate? Because again, when I'm doing my JP NFT someday, my plan is to kind of just allocate it the way I personally allocate my funds. Is that kind of what you're doing with this as well?
yeah, I mean, Ludo and I will have a discussion, obviously, and fix it up. Right now, we're going to probably go with our big legs. It'll be more even-ish at first, just to kind of see how it lands. And then over time, we'll adjust it like that. And it'll basically be based on how the market's going, how the projects are going, how we feel, what comfort we feel with each one. Obviously, we get concerned, we'll pull funds from it or whatever. And the other thing, too, is we're able, because we're going in with larger amounts, a lot of the places where we're putting the funds are giving us slight deals on either the fees or on getting in. So we're able to offset some of our fees too, to make sure that the end user is not hit by us doing this management for them. So there's definitely some benefits to it on the long run too. So.
Okay. Nope. Makes a lot of sense. Will the project be run as a DAO? Who will be making the decisions?
Yeah, right now it'll be us. That's always a hard one to get into because we do see how we already had DAO season. We saw how well that went. Obviously, we're open to suggestions and very happy to hear anybody if they're like, hey, man, this is what. But unfortunately, as you're aware, as a YouTuber, we get a whole lot of crap suggested to us. So we want to be pretty darn careful. We have a pretty good set idea of what we want for the first 4 to 6 legs. And depending on how those go, we may not need to change or add a whole lot. I mean, that's already pretty good diversification. But if we have things and ideas that might give us a little bit better edge, then we can always test some of our portfolio in it as it grows. Because like I said, once we get those profits, we can funnel them into other things with less risk because we've already got our potential ROI on the other stuff. So.
Yep, absolutely. And probably, I mean, the goal for my projects is to not have to change too much. Like the goal is you get settled and then it's like, okay, now I can just count on this 5 to 15% for the foreseeable future and not have to mess with it. So I love that you're adding stuff to the space. So thank you for doing that.
All I try and do.
And
appreciate your support.
Oh, yes, anytime. I love that there is no liquidity pool, so no chance of a market crash on it. Yes, because that's one of the risks when you do a token is you put the liquidity out there and that opens up a lot of potential risks. So I'm a lot safer doing it this way. Inner Circle Finance, nice concept, some similarities to ours in the long-term vision. Ours is an NFT-based version for shares in an investment portfolio. So yeah, this is something I'm seeing more people move to this type of thing. Again, as we've seen these degen projects just fall apart and people are starting to wake up that, hey, there's not real money to be made in a lot of these degen plays. So then they're moving to real revenue. And then those projects, the cream of the crop is going to rise to the top.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I get asked. And that's the other thing and reason why this kind of came up is I get so many people, and I'm sure you do too. Hey, what's your best project? What's your top whatever? And it's like, okay, well, for me to tell each person individually in my DMs gets a little bit hard to do and hard to manage. So this way, it's a way of me kind of talking to it and helping us hopefully make some people some money. So.
Awesome. Love it. JB says, whoa, Sunday AMA. Yeah, we had to, just with the trips, I'm leaving, just got back from Dubai, heading to South Africa on Thursday. So I had just a few days to fit in a lot of videos. So
and full disclosure, I forgot to get this scheduled. So I appreciate James working on it because, we only have a week left of our pre-sale. So we want to try and make sure that gets as good as we can.
So. Okay, and actually, yeah, that's a good question. Tell us a little bit more about the pre-sale. So it ends next Sunday, or when does it end? Friday. And then what token do people need? And they
if you want to pull up the website, probably have a quick look there because it'll show it. So if you go up to the website there,
whoops,
so you had it.
Hold on, Voltech. Is it pronounced Voltech or Voltech?
So it's Voltech. The problem was we couldn't find any websites without something, so we had to put a dash in. So if you actually scroll, actually that might work. Try that.
Let me connect to my wallet here.
And
it is connecting in the background. There we go.
So scroll down. There's a little Presale, join Volt Presale. So super simple, BUSD, and basically you'll just put in your amount. You don't want to put any decimals in there. It seems to mess it up like a lot of dApps do. So you'll put in an even number, 50, 25, whatever, up to whatever you want. And as you can see, we're over the 10% mark. So nice. That was at 9 point something earlier. So yeah, so basically it ends, as you can see, on the 25th. And basically the dApp is mostly ready. We're going to make sure, and obviously we may not launch that second, but we hope to. It's gotten dark here now all of a sudden. And so you'll put whenever you want in there, and then you'll get a certain amount of vault tokens. The tokens are all done at $1. And even when we launch, we will be holding the price at $1 until we get the treasury up above that. The reason why the treasury will be a little bit below is we did do a seed round to get some funds started, just to get us marketing, dev, and all that kind of stuff. And we should fairly quickly, with the 50% compound, get ourselves back to that dollar mark, and then it'll start growing from there. And that's the really neat thing about this, is as we compound, that token price will keep going up and up and up, which will help allow people to take more profits if they want to later on. So no matter what, they can claim that 35% daily or weekly or whatever we end up doing. But then on top of that, they can then take profits by selling some of their tokens as the token value rises. So let's say we hit $2, they could technically sell half their tokens in ROI completely if they wanted to, and still be earning what they were earning probably back when they first started. So hopefully still be earning the 5 or 10%, because they would have grown to 10, 15, 20% by that point because of the compounding effect. So yeah, so any amount you want to put in there, you just put BSD, buy, and away she goes. Pretty darn easy.
Okay, very good. Let's see, audience. Do you think Jason is wearing a shirt while listening to this AMA? Absolutely not. There's not.
Yeah, there is no
not a chance. Even though it's getting colder in South Africa, still no shirt. Yeah, waiting for the JP NFT, and who knows? Like maybe the JP NFT will be an investor in Voltech. Like we just don't know. I don't want us to get too, because this happened with in node season where we got too convoluted. Yeah. So we'll talk through it, but love all these new projects coming out.
Yep.
Let's see. Good to see you, Scott. I was thinking of getting into ibots. Will ibots be one of the projects in the portfolio? Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, I am part of them as well. And they definitely have, the nice thing is between Warfi and ibots, the way I look at them is you got your low risk Forex and your low risk crypto. So it's good diversification just in itself. And then we have basically higher risk crypto and a higher risk Forex. And that's kind of creating our main four legs, I guess, if you will. And then we have some other things on the side that we'll be investing in as well, to kind of complete that and round that out a bit. So.
Okay, very good. And I don't want to hijack the AMA, but do you want to maybe give us an update? I know since Commonwealth is going to be a part of this and ibots is going to be a part of this. Do you want to kind of just give us some updates on those projects and how they're doing? And
Creative Wealth, there's an update for that, all in their own. Yeah, Creative Wealth has their own update inside the actual Discord. That's for investors only, because really there's no new investors in that. So that one I'd prefer to just leave there. But ibots is doing very, very well. We had a 1.2% day a couple of days ago, which was huge. I think our week was 2 and change. So doing really, really well. So yeah, I do want to keep focus, but at the same token, yeah, I appreciate the fact that they're ticking away and we're doing really, really well and growing. And with the credit card now as well as an option for people to offboard with is pretty cool. So really, really excited for their future. Our TVL is growing, which is huge, and what we needed to kind of diversify a bit more. And they're just managing risk really well. We turn off the bots during high profile days, but still keep the tester bot going so we can see how it performs still. So just really responsible growth, just like the rest of the stuff we're looking at, like Warfi and all that jazz.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Creative Wealth, not Common.
It's okay.
So too many projects, you know how.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you tell, when should people expect the first payout? So pre-sale ends on the 25th. When do you think people should kind of expect that to start?
We actually have already made our first investment, and actually and that's the other one I haven't mentioned actually, is Flex IRA. So we've made our first investment in that, and hopefully we will in turn be able to give a reward very soon afterwards. We need to give everybody a little bit of time to stake their tokens, because that's how you'll earn, is by having them staked. Because if you choose to take them off and put them for sale, then you won't earn while you have them up for sale, which leaves more rewards for the people that are supporting and staying in. So yeah, so with that said, we'll try and have rewards quite soon. Because like I said, we're already producing rewards right now with the 10K we had, and we'll take that other 10K and get it into something as well right away. So by the week closing, we should already have some rewards to give back to people.
Okay, very good. Host Logic says, I'm in. As soon as I take a break, I'm going to connect the wallet and buying in. So good. Got an investor there. Yeah. And then Quarter Mile says, oh, they send payouts to a credit card. Yeah, ibots does. Is that something that you're planning on doing with Voltech as well? Is the credit card integration?
We may look into it. I'll talk to like ibots, obviously, because I'm with them as well. We have a good relationship. So who knows? I'm not committing anything because we've already kind of had this going before that kind of got launched, sort of thing. So, but I'd like to bring that feature, find a way for ibots to be able to partner with other product protocols to allow that feature to be used a little bit more. The fees are up there a little bit, but there's no KYC or anything with them. So it's quite handy in that you can just get up and go kind of thing with it.
Okay, very good. Jason says, am I allowed to confirm Volt is in the JP NFT? Are they allowed to know that it's done? TBD. I've got actually 3 NFTs I'm working on before the JP NFT, and more might pop up. It's just, man, I've been getting a lot of requests from people for different NFTs. So you know, I don't want to overwhelm people, so I'm kind of doing one at a time, but definitely this is the type of project I would put in there. I do really like too that you can put in. Sometimes it annoys people in my NFT projects. Oh, I have to do $500, or I like this, that you can, you know, if you just want to do $150, you can do that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was a barrier that we kind of, and that's where the aha moment came for the token for me. That was when it was like, okay, this actually adds value to the protocol. It's not just some token that's just got no use. Because I pushed back a lot on that at first, but like I said, we both had our aha moment and went, this will work. This will be neat. So
yeah,
excited.
Well, and it's cool to just see the space move forward. You know, like we just, the next project just kind of iterates and does it a little better than the project before it. You find out, hey, what were the barriers to entry for, you know, the last project, and then you kind of just keep moving forward. So
exactly.
like that. Pastor Ken, good to see you, brother. Welcome from Kenya. So good to see you. Be careful running the Forex spots coming up to June 1st with the debt ceiling. Yeah, Forex, I never trade the US dollar personally. So I do Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I don't trade the US dollar personally, but yeah, that's
neither
good.
do we.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good. That's good note to take, though. Who knows what's going to happen with the debt ceiling, and you know, who knows?
It still creates volatility in the other ones, so you still have to be careful, and that's why, like I said, a lot of times we'll turn them off just in case. But yeah, because you're flipping a coin during some volatile spaces, and you just don't want to do that.
Yes. Yep. Is a real world business with a 4% payout per month something you would like to add to Voltech? So what is your take on, you know, real world stuff? It's hard to get over, you know, 3 or 4% a month. So what's your take on that? And would you ever consider including those in this?
So absolutely. So this actually is part. So I guess I didn't really go through the future of Voltech. So part of our future actually will be doing some of that type of stuff. But we need to build a treasury first, right? So once we get over the 1 million kind of thing, and that may be just with our group, it may be just the 250 and we grow it to 1 million, or it may be that we'll release some other tokens later on, but we'll do it very responsibly so that the new people and the old people don't get any benefits out of it. So let's say the token has gone to $2. We'll do maybe another raise, and the tokens will be sold at $2 for that raise, and add them to the portfolio. But basically the idea is once we grow it big enough and are creating enough revenues, we can then diversify because everybody's returns are getting higher and higher. So now we can go, okay, let's become more conservative and go into real life stuff and get some other revenue sources that are even more long-term and more sustainable and more conservative. So that definitely is part of our plan down the road.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and once you start, once you get a treasury, there's a lot more real world opportunities that open up to you. You know, if you have 25K, it's you know, or less than that, it's very hard to go in and do anything in the real world. But if you can get $1 million, there's a lot of options to get you pretty good returns in the real world.
Exactly. Yeah. So awesome. No, definitely open to those things. It just won't be a day one thing just because we need time to build. But we're trying to build responsibly so we don't have to worry about the other crap.
Gotcha. Jack says, welcome, Jack. And by the way, if you don't follow Jack, go
Yeah,
subscribe to Pocket's channel. Go subscribe to Jack's Passive Income. Got a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
Justin, for the private pre-sale tokens, will they be airdropped after public
Yes,
pre-sale?
yeah. So it'll all get airdropped. It'll be part of the claim. I'm not sure how the back end works. I'm a techie guy, but not that techie guy, not programming techie guy. So either the seed guys will get their tokens airdropped, and then the other ones will come in and claim, or both claim. I'm not sure.
Okay. Every vlog says, is there some portion of investment that will be allocated to safer plays like validator nodes, gold, or real estate?
Yeah, there's already a lot in the space doing that now, and there's more of them coming out. So I don't really, we may diversify that way anyways, as well as part of our safer plays as we grow. But for now, we're trying to have some fun building a portfolio, again, responsibly, but I do want to try and give us not the degen returns, but still give us some pretty good returns, things to get excited about at first, just to kind of grind us up there a bit. And then whether we go into IRL stuff or real estate or validator nodes, there's all kinds of options there that we would entertain. All that stuff, though, down the road kind of thing.
Yeah, and if you're aiming for that 5 to 15, then those validator nodes wouldn't fit real well into that.
No.
And by the way, if somebody from the community, I think this would be really helpful, wants to do an infographic or something of just the target returns for all the WarFi projects and my projects and Pockets projects, and kind of show people, okay, so if you want to go super low, Gladiators is doing the validator nodes where you might get 1% a month, maybe. But it's going to be very safe. Then the Forex bots would be a little higher, WarFi would be a little higher, this would be a little higher, and you can kind of it'd be cool if somebody wants to do that. I will probably not find the time to do that, but if somebody wants to,
too little degen for you,
yeah, that would be helpful. Let's see, JP and Pocket are the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen of DeFi, and Jason could be the Dennis Rodman, maybe.
There we go. We'll get the Bulls back.
Yeah, there you go. Will we be able to see a dashboard of current investments when it's launched? What kind of transparency do you plan on doing for the investments?
Great question. Thanks, Alif. So we're actually going to have, we have a guy in our Discord who actually was with Dauntless, which was Ludo's older, still around. It's not an old project. It's a project of NFTs that he had done, and it's keeping some returns and doing well. But with him, he had a gentleman in there that does really good spreadsheets. So our idea was we'll have a spreadsheet that'll get updated with all that stuff, because we do want to show everybody what we're doing. In the most part, it'll depend a little bit on what we can divulge. But even if it's a secret project, if we have to keep it that way for whatever reason, we'll put a title in there of some sorts for everybody. Right now, I don't think anything's really secret anymore. It's just more, here's some options. And some of these options are not available on the public, like the Creative Wealth bot is not available. This other crypto trader that we have is not available to the public. So some neat things there that help diversify with things that we know people don't have.
Okay, very good. And James, good to see you, brother. He says, have to have money to make money. Yes, that's very true. Very, very true. So, all right. Well, hey, that's all the questions I have. Pretty straightforward project, which is, again, how I like it. I am not a big fan of, I get confused very easily. So if there's too many things going on, this is very cut and dry. Here's what you're doing. So I appreciate that. Do you have anything further that you feel like we didn't touch on, or things you want to talk about?
No, and like I said, a lot of people wait for pre-sales, and that's kind of the hard part we're having, because we're kind of getting a little bit of a slow grind up. I don't mind it. Like I said, we put our first 10K in, we'll put our next 10K in right away to start it working for everybody. But keep in mind, I think that's the one barrier, is people go, oh, it's a pre-sale, I'm going to wait till after. This is not a token that can have pump and dump. This is not a token that can do any of that. So I do ask, if you're interested in this, let's get this going and help everybody start earning some funds. So if it is something you're interested, come on by the Discord. We rebranded the Discord a little bit to be Voltech-y for right now, but technically the Discord is, and I should give you that, I guess, James. The Discord is Crypto Clarity, and technically it's a Discord with Paul Dutton and I, another YouTuber, really great guy that does really great reviews. So you got it, perfect. You're on the ball. So we're he gave me permission to kind of basically take over the Discord for right now and make it Voltech-y. But that's where we're running it out of, just because we already had a community there. So it just made sense to bring it in there and keep it growing there. So yeah, and thank you so much, guys. Like James and your community, and I kind of pushed myself in there and appreciate what you've done for me to help learn and grow in the space. So I appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday to chill with me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Rising tides raise all the ships. So some people have asked me, do you see, this as a competitor to some of the stuff you're doing? There's plenty of capital in the world to fund these things. So it's just a matter of getting the word out there. So no, happy to help however I can.
Perfect.
Let's see. I had a couple last minute questions as we're wrapping up here. Just to be clear, PocketAces is part of the Voltech team. Are the other members of the team Doxxed KYC?
Yeah, so it's basically just Ludo and I. Ludo has doxed himself. I apologize, I don't have all the details and stuff. He did dox himself for Dauntless, which is an NFT project that's still going and paying and doing well. And it's basically he and I. The dev we have is a dev that he's used over a year through Murdoch as well as him, so they know very well. And he's done some magical work with our contract and done everything we asked to kind of make this token, because it was different. It wasn't something that could be totally cloned, but he did find ways to kind of use very audited contracts. He's taken parts of them to make it work and to make it more secure. So it's really well done in that sense. And then, so it's basically just Ludo and I. So no issues there. I'll talk to Ludo about I know he's doxed to me and I'll get all the information from him, just like I did with Creative Wealth, and happy to make sure everybody feels comfortable in that way. And for me, I'm kind of everywhere.
Yep, you are. You hop in any random Discord and you can probably see a Pocket there doing something. So awesome. And then last question, and then we'll let you go here. How will payouts come in BUSD or in native token?
Definitely not native token. That would be a no-no. So yeah, BUSD, I presume right now is how we're going to do it. We can obviously change that as we need on the contract, but in essence, yes, it will be stable coin. There's no smoke and mirrors here, no Ponzi, none of that BS. So
okay, very good. Scott says if James and Pocket are Jordan and Pippen, I guess I'm Spike Lee. No, you're on our team. So we'd have to. Who's a famous Bulls fan? I'm not sure who that is.
I knew all of them back in the day, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's see. So somewhat still confused that payout is in stable. Yes, payout would be in stable coins. So you don't have to worry about the price fluctuating. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and wrap up there. The rest of the questions are more for me, which again, I'm going to be doing an AMA Monday. My video about my trip to Dubai will be on Monday. So stay tuned for that. But audience, appreciate you guys. Please hit like for Pocket on the way out here. If you have questions, hop in the Discord or hop in my community. Pockets there. Ask questions there. We'll put info there as well. And Justun, thank you for being part of the space. Thanks for building something stable, not Ponzi, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Appreciate it very much. And best of luck to you with this new endeavor.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.